All right, welcome back to the Algorithm Podcast. We are not being joined by Joey today. It is just me and Spencer, and we're going to be talking
Hmm.
about NFL Week 1, what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like, some overreactions, maybe a quick Week 2 look ahead. And then in the latter half of this podcast, we're going to be joined by our boy Matt. You might remember him from the 2K Overreactions pod. And we're going to be discussing a couple topics. Including Kawhi Leonard and some media. I'm not going to spoil it, we'll see.
You
Um,
got to stick around.
so we're going to start off with the game of the year so far, which is Buffalo Bills versus Baltimore Ravens. I'm living in Europe at the moment, so I was not able to watch this one live, but I did purchase this freaking incredible package, Spencer, I got to tell you, where it's 200 euros. I have full NFL Game Pass, Red Zone, all the playoffs, and I can watch all the games in their entirety, like after the fact.
Whoa.
200 euros for all of it.
Is that like
Um,
a solely European thing? Like
mhm.
they're just like trying to get people into football. They're just
I
like, you
think
get
so.
everything.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you could find the games on YouTube, but having Red Zone included is just huge.
it's incredible. It's like 40% of the cost of Sunday tickets. So I'm pretty happy about
That's
it. But anyway, I watched
amazing.
I watched the whole Bills game this morning, just because I had to see what all the hype was about. And first of all, I just want to say this is why we watch football. It's just
Hmm.
incredible. Two amazing teams. Um, I don't know. I don't want to overreact to this one. We're going to do some overreactions later, but Spencer, I want to hear your thoughts first.
Yeah, so this was a interesting game for me. I declared my allegiance to the Buffalo Bills, not
And
actually,
it's not been accepted.
not actually, but I was watching my girlfriend who is a Bills fan, and so I was rooting for the Bills. Um, you know, the game kind of went not exactly how I thought it was going to go, but pretty similar. I could see that both teams just looked far and away better than any other team that I had watched so far. Like this is like within a couple minutes, you could tell that this was the like two best teams in the league, like easily. Um, and I hate to admit this, I did turn it off halfway through the third quarter when it was like when it started to like pull away to the Ravens. It looked like the Bills were floundering a little bit, and it looked like the Ravens were like, "This is it. Like, we're making a
Well,
statement." But
25,000 Bills fans also left
yeah,
at that point.
yeah,
So
and so like the Bills could not stop them. They couldn't do anything to the Ravens offense, and I just didn't see how that would change. I did not. But luckily, I turned it back on because I was sweating a bet, actually. So I was like, oh,
this is why we gamble.
yeah, this is why we gamble. But I just want to go into like a couple of notes that I made like throughout the game and after the game. For the Raven, we'll start with the Ravens first. Just yet another crushing loss. Like I saw an Instagram post today of like 8 games that they were probably like 80% or higher, 85% or higher that they should have won, and they lost all of them. And some teams lose those games, but the Ravens just do it far more than any other team. And it makes you wonder, is it the way that Lamar Jackson plays, how he struggles with closing out games because they're trying to be conservative? Is it Harbaugh like not calling the right plays? And I have a gripe with Harbaugh how they ended that game. Just terrible three and outs. You're taking away
Yeah.
the ball from Lamar. Um, but yeah, offensively, they were ridiculous. Like the Bills couldn't do anything. Lamar, 14 of 19, 209 yards. Henry, like, I know that fumble happened. It shouldn't have changed the outcome. The Ravens
Yeah.
should have stopped them. Like 18 for 169 and 2 touchdowns. Like you can't put that
Unreal.
game, like you can't put any blame on him. I know he fumbled. It
Yeah.
happens. People fumble.
But
But
they're not in the lead to begin with without him. So
like they're up 15 at that point. Like they missed the 2 point conversion too. So it's like so many things had to go wrong and it had nothing to do with that. Um
I mean, and Henry's just one of those guys like he's just one of those true freaks of nature. Like
Yeah.
you only see a few of them watching sports in your lifetime.
Mm.
The way he runs, he's so fast. People just bounce off of him, and like
It-
he's 31. I
It's
can't really believe it.
he's 60. Like I love thinking like wide receivers and running backs when they're like 31. You know, we're as basketball fans and like baseball fans as well. It's hard to even think about a 31-year-old being like way past their prime. But that's
Yeah,
just how it
as
is
a
for
running
running
back.
backs and
Yeah,
for running backs especially.
I know.
Um, and it might sound like I'm like a little upset about this, and part of me is because I don't like how the Ravens just threw that like basically threw that game away. Like I'm glad how good of a game it was. Like oh my God, I was losing my mind, but it was just upsetting to just see a team collapse like that has collapsed so often. Like I don't know, you hate to see that,
So,
but you love to see the game.
did
Yeah.
you think at the fourth quarter when the Ravens had the opportunity to go for it in their own territory, 4th and 2, and they punted it downfield? Obviously, Allen gets the ball back,
Hmm.
marches down the field with ease. Would you have considered going for it on 4th down, even though if you don't get it, the Buffalo has the ball pretty close to field goal range?
And this is 40 and 38, right? When this
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, with under two
Um,
minutes to go.
so I know the math says to go for it. I'm positive on that. Like I can look it up, but I'm pretty positive the math is gonna say to go for it. However, if I'm Harbaugh, I'm a little cautious. You haven't done anything on 2 drives.
Yeah, yeah,
Like and the Bills have just like tore you apart. Like it's do you trust Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry to get 2 yards, or do you trust your defense that's been getting torn apart for the last 10 minutes to stop them? I think I would have trusted Lamar and Derrick Henry to get the 2 yards. But I also think they shouldn't have been in that position. I think they should have given them the ball earlier. I don't
yeah.
know if you remember that. This is very specific, but before the drive before they went three and out, when it was like 40 to 20, or wait, after the Bills scored the touchdown, it was 40
Hmm.
to
32.
32. Yeah, something like that. Because then they had to get the first play that the Ravens ran, Lamar had like a 14-yard run off of like a
Hmm.
a fake handoff or an RPO or a
Yeah,
run option, whatever. Like they were doing that all game, and they
I
just
know.
decided, and then Derrick Henry, the fumble was before that, sorry, but um, they were doing that all game, and they just didn't.
But it just shows like a fumble like that just sucks the air out of a team. Like you're
Hmm.
just fucked once that happens. I don't know. I mean, it's just such an interesting game to watch. Like to see the way the tides can turn in a football game like that and to see how watching your best player put your team in a bad position can just kill your morale. That's why football's such an interesting sport. That doesn't
Hmm.
really happen in baseball as much. It doesn't, I guess it happens in basketball for sure. But I don't know. I think that's what made this game so awesome. But I
Hmm.
agree with you. The Ravens, I mean, they're just such a team that's so easy to doubt and so easy to feel like won't come through because it's not just this game. It's just been over and over again. So yeah,
And
we should
Lamar, yeah, let's move to the Bills because the
make your
Bills are
last
the
point. Make
real.
your last point.
Oh, I was gonna say like Lamar is just easy to root for, and like you feel bad for him. He was sitting on
Yeah.
this. They kept panning to him on the sidelines, and like you feel bad for him a little bit. The ball was taken out of his hands. Like if I'm him, like obviously you can't go against your coach if your coach is calling for you to run into a brick wall, but take the ball and get the first down.
Yeah.
Like stand up for yourself. What is it? Year 7, year
Yeah.
8?
And two-time
Like
MVP. Like
two-time
he
MVP.
has some sway.
Um,
Yeah.
but I just want to talk about the Josh Allen and the Bills really quick,
Yeah.
because they were the real stars of the show.
Yeah. And I think we
Fantastic
should
win.
focus more on their greatness because like a week one loss is
Yeah,
whatever, but to show that
yeah,
perseverance is yeah.
exactly. I was gonna say just a fantastic win. They persevered. Still things to work on, but it's week one. It doesn't really matter. Um, I have one thing. I have a question to ask you.
Hmm.
Um, it's an either or. If I were to give you two quarterbacks, the first quarterback, 16 of 21, 251 yards and a touchdown. Okay.
Hmm.
Or 16 of 22, 218 yards and a touchdown. Who would you take?
I mean, technically the first one.
Okay. That's Josh Allen in the fourth quarter alone. Plus a rushing touchdown that I didn't put in.
You're
That's
kidding.
Josh Allen in the fourth quarter
And
alone.
the second one's
The
Lamar.
second one was Justin Fields in one of his best games ever.
Oh my God. That's, dude, that's fucking wild. Yeah, that was his
Uh,
fourth quarter numbers.
Fourth quarter
Josh
alone
Allen.
for the game, he was 33 of 46, 400 yards, two touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown.
Jeez, man, he's just incredible.
And like backed up the MVP because I was one of the people that thought Lamar should have won it. Like I just think statistically Lamar had a better season. I understand why Josh Allen won it, and like I'm not saying it was a bad pick at all. I just think like if we're going based on statistics and how important they were for a team, like I guess Josh Allen is probably the most important player for any team, but statistically Lamar was better. But he looked like the best player in the league and was so calm about it and was just
Yeah,
unreal.
indeed.
It was so
Um,
much fun to watch.
it was just a great game. Yeah, I'm happy I could watch the whole thing. Because you just don't get that watching the highlights. So you mentioned Justin Fields. I'll use that to segue into our
And I
um
say one more thing, and then
yeah,
I would love to segue into that because that's one of my favorite games as well.
yeah.
They won that game, which is a sign of like a championship team where you win
Mhm.
a game when you're not supposed to. Like no one would have blamed them if they lost this game. Like it's week one, Sunday night football against like the team you're probably going to end up playing in the playoffs. Like this game doesn't matter too much. And like you were down 40 to 25, you can give up pretty easily. But they didn't give up. They won. This is like a sign of like when a championship team like comes together. It's very exciting.
Do you wanna praise Josh Allen and the Bills anymore? I don't know if you've done enough of that.
I don't think I have. Yeah, we can
Glad to
move
know we
on.
have a resident Bills glazer on this podcast.
Oh, also, I needed Josh Allen to have 30 rushing yards for the last part of my parlay to hit.
Hmm.
And he had 33 going into the kneel downs
Oh
and ended with
no.
exactly 30.
Whew.
It was
I
like
gotta watch that.
it was so insane. Okay, I would love to move
Crazy.
on.
All
Let's
right.
go.
So yeah, to segue into our main Sunday slate, you mentioned Justin Fields and the Jets, who almost beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in probably the most exciting game, with the exception of the Bills game.
Hmm.
Also, just a really weird game. My take on this Jet Steelers game is that we're gonna look at this in week 10 and be like, those teams like put up numbers like that.
Yes, that was
Um,
I have that written down. That was
yeah,
yeah.
this is just a week one fluke. I don't know. I think
Hmm.
overall theme of week one is that teams are just like completely out of whack in some way or the other. And I think for these guys, it was their defenses. But we will give credit to both Justin
Hmm.
Fields and Aaron Rodgers. The double revenge game maybe played a little part because
Hmm.
Aaron Rodgers was talking shit about the Jets after the game, which is just so funny. He's like,
Which makes no sense. He tore his ACL and then gave them the
I
shittiest
know.
year that they've had
I
in the
know. And
Jets.
he like
Like
handpicked his guys. He got his offensive coordinator. He shoved the coach. Like, bro.
he was like,
Um,
I don't want anything to do with that organization. You picked that entire
I know.
organization.
I know. What a doofus. But in his defense, he played really well. He had this really nice
Hmm.
touchdown to Calvin
Hmm.
Austin in the fourth quarter, hit him on the back shoulder. And then just like there's just like we're gonna talk about kicking some more because kicking was a theme of this
Hmm.
week. By the way, Bills missed an extra point, or Ravens missed an extra point, lost the game by one. So that's pretty notable. But Chris Boswell just fucking smoked it through the uprights
Good
from
from
60
70.
yards.
It
Oh my
looked.
God. You
Speaking of
never
kick,
doubt he's gonna make that, you know?
um, like up there. So he's so good. But I read the reason that kicking is gonna they people think that kicking is gonna be huge this year because they're using a new ball, a
Yeah, I heard
specific
that.
kicking ball that they're able to use and break in instead of it being like directly right out of the box. And so people
Hmm.
are expecting like 70-yard field goals this year. And from what Chris Boswell just did,
Yeah.
I see why that's
Well,
gonna happen.
there's also some really bad kicking. that will lead us to one of my other favorite games, which is Tampa Bay and Atlanta. And this was a pretty solid game overall. I thought that Tampa Bay definitely could have played better despite winning. Baker had an okay game, and I was very
Mhm.
impressed with Penix, but just like watching their kicker miss the extra point. So then instead of a 4-point game, it's a 3-point game. All for this, for Penix to lead them back down the field and for Koo to miss like a 40-yard field goal. It's just like, bro, it just it's so painful watching these kickers lose these games. Like, I don't know. We're gonna talk. I have a overreaction
Yeah,
about
I
this.
would. I'm so excited to hear about this because I didn't know kicking was such like was that bad. Like I didn't see all of those highlights of or
Yeah,
lowlights, I should say, of that bad
yeah,
kicking. One thing I want to point out about that game, which I kind of called, but like I didn't call it exactly on this pod, but like in general, the Buccaneers wide receiver, rookie wide
yeah.
receiver. I'm not even
Egbuka.
gonna. It was it
I don't know how to say it really,
Ibuka.
but it's Egbuka or something. Yeah.
I've been a big fan of him.
Hmm.
I know Bill Simmons has been a big fan of him. He's mentioned him a couple times. Um, but yeah, just I've drafted him
Yeah.
in fantasy. He's so good.
Yeah, his game-winning touchdown too was huge. It's just like he was wide open.
Hmm
Baker hit him with a beautiful ball. Yeah, and I just want to I don't want to move on without giving our boy Michael Penis Jr. a little credit. He looked pretty good. I'm not gonna
hmm
say he looked amazing, but he absolutely gave his team a chance to win the game, and he made some really great plays on the second to last drive where he dove in for somehow got a first down, and then that led to him running in for a touchdown a couple plays later. So, don't call him Michael Penis. He does not like to be called that. But yeah, Michael Penix. Good job. And then last bad kicking game, and I barely want to talk about this game, but the fucking Browns and Bengals, Battle of Ohio, just
Oh,
not doing
I have
Ohio
I
well.
have some thoughts on this game.
So we can talk about how the Bengals are just a disgrace to football, because they
Uh-huh.
just suck. But
hmm
let's first talk about this poor guy, Andre. I'm gonna guess it's just Schmidt,
Oh
S
yeah, yeah,
S
yeah.
Z M Y T Schmidt. Maybe Polish name could be. But this poor guy missed an extra point.
Mm.
And as always, the announcers go on the next drive after they're down by one, and that extra point looms large as they're now down by one. Um, as if that wasn't
Thanks.
obvious. Yeah.
Uh,
And then the poor guy missed a go-ahead chip shot field goal. So
wasn't
yeah,
it like a 30 something yard field goal or
I
something?
think it was like 30 yards. Yeah, I think it was shorter than an extra point. So yeah, but yeah, do you want to talk about the Bengals?
Yeah. Um, they had negative yards in the second half. Did you know that?
But that's that's terrible.
Um, their offense costs $120 million a year for three players.
Yeah.
How are you going to score 17 points? How is Chase going to have 26 yards? Chase had two catches.
Yeah.
I don't know if he got injured. Like he had to have. Higgins only had 33 yards. Burrow had 113 yards total. Like I
I
don't
mean,
care if every year they do this. I could not give a shit because it's still an NFL game and you're still playing the Cleveland Browns. How do you like I know they won. I don't care.
doesn't matter. I agree.
Um
I wish Joey was here because he was defending the Bengals, and I'm just like, dude,
yeah, he
no
took
way.
their over, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he
Um
got to win towards that.
like they were playing if they weren't playing the Joe Flacco led Browns or if their kicker didn't miss that extra point in field goal, like is Zach Taylor already fired?
No, but like he should be. Joe Flacco was like clearly better than Joe Burrow in that game
Yeah,
too, which
at
is really
40
funny.
years old in the year
Yeah.
2025.
And Joe Burrow is
Uh,
supposed to be a top four quarterback in the league. Um,
yeah.
anyway,
I like the Browns just didn't run the ball. Like I just don't know what this game was. Like
I
this
do. I
game
mean,
didn't happen.
I barely watched this game. Like it was one of the worst games on. But yeah, I don't know. We don't need to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, no, please, can we not?
Yeah, and then just real quick, I want to move on kind of more of the late window games, but the um, worst team of the day, I would say, well, there were two, but let's just talk about the Dolphins. Just
Yeah.
sucking. They were so bad.
They're done. It's
Yeah,
over. I don't care if it's
cross
week
off
one.
team. Yeah. Tua was
Mike
just
Mike
awful. He
Mike
was
McDaniel's
terrible.
done.
Yeah.
Tyreek is 30 minutes away from requesting a trade. I'm surprised he
Or
hasn't
like
already
doing
done it.
something like violent or something. I don't know. He strikes
Um,
me as a weirdo.
Actually, no, but let's not talk about the Dolphins. Let's talk about the Colts for a second.
Yeah, Danny
Like,
Dimes.
why? Let's not be negative. Like, I'm gonna let you take your. I'm gonna give you a minute to talk about Daniel Jones, but
Oh,
they made him
thanks.
look like Peyton Manning out there. Did you see the
Yeah,
stat? They had 7 drives all game, and they
he,
scored on
I
all 7 drives.
he threw this
Like,
ball downfield at one point, like 20, 30 yards downfield, hit the receiver on his back shoulder on the sideline. And I was like, he did not do that one time in 6 years for the Giants. Um, I I'm willing to believe that if Dimes has a good offensive line and some decent
mhm.
receivers, he can be totally fine.
I mean,
I've
we
always
just saw it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought that Jones is all right. Like, I think he's a decent quarterback, and he's like a good athlete. He's smart. He works hard. I don't think he's amazing, but I think like if you give him something resembling a decent situation, I think he can be okay. And I'm not like shocked, honestly. And I mean, I'm happy for the Colts. I'm rooting for
Hmm.
them,
Yeah,
but
he's the perfect
uh,
Colts quarterback.
yeah, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. He kind of reminded me of Peyton a few times.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Not really.
I want to give you. I just want to spend one more minute because it was insane when I was
You
looking at
really
these
want to
stats.
keep
Because
talking about Daniel Jones?
yeah, no, the Colts. They had
Okay.
418 yards, 27 first downs. They had 40 minutes of possession. They just
Yeah.
like this is dominance that like the Chiefs had in their heyday.
Uh, Okay.
Like
You're just saying this for
I'm
overreactions.
not saying the Dolphins are going to continue or the Colts are going to continue this. I'm just trying to like point a
I
picture of both how bad the Dolphins are and like yeah, I'll save
I
it.
think we
Sorry.
should give the Colts offensive line a little credit. Like that's always been like a unit that's had some
Mm,
respect coming into the season. I think the Dolphins defense is probably just terrible too. Um,
yeah,
Not really many, blue chippers, but
they were being shut out for 55 minutes. They got a pity touchdown at the
Tua
end.
was so bad. He was just terrible. I don't know, man. I
We can
don't
move on. We can
I
move
don't like
on.
Tua. But just to get off Dimes. I have to talk about the Giants for a second.
Yeah,
And I mean, I don't think we
Jackson
could
Dart
have had,
time.
yeah, it's Jackson Dart time. I don't think that the quarterback play could have been any worse. And I know it's tough to make these judgments when Andrew Thomas isn't playing because he's by far the best, offensive lineman we have. But Wilson, like this fucking guy cannot throw the ball with any speed at all. All of his throws are like so like he can't throw the ball into any windows. He's just hoping that like he's gonna throw like a quick slot out to Robinson or that Malik Neighbors is gonna be open by 15 yards. But he can't move, he can't throw.
Yeah.
But we also can't run. And we got to Daniels like a few times, but if we didn't get to Daniels, then there was just like a big gap somewhere in the middle of the field and he would just hit some receivers. So oh, I think the Giants are bottom three, bottom five team in the league. Honestly, it's pretty
I have a
depressing.
question. Are you one of those people that is like keep Russell Wilson for a draft pick, or you don't give a hell, you don't give a shit about the
No,
draft picks, play your best players?
no, Russell Wilson, I don't care about this draft pick. He's week one. I want to see like a little bit of fight. I want to see Dayball try to keep his job. And
Mm,
like, I don't want to see Russell Wilson play ever again.
yeah.
Unfortunately, Dayball just announced that he's going to be starting week two against your
Well,
Cowboys.
I did not watch this game because as a Cowboys fan, I did not want to watch the Giants versus Commanders, but I did see in like his press conference after the game, Dable was like, can you commit, or someone asked, are you going to
Yeah.
commit to a quarterback after like praising Russell
No,
Wilson, saying like he was good, and then it was like immediately, I can't commit to him being the quarterback.
he committed. He
You
committed.
did, okay.
Yeah. He did today.
Did
But
you watch this game by the way?
yeah, I mean, I watched the whole first half, and then I kind of watched intermittently in the second half because we were just so bad.
Do
But
you have any Commanders takes? Because I heard like the first half, it seemed like they didn't play as well, or
they didn't play that well in general. I mean, their defense was good without
that's
question,
in,
and they were expected to be a pretty mediocre unit, I'd say.
yeah.
But offensively, no, I wasn't that impressed. They only scored three touchdowns and just a lot of dumb mistakes. Like the Giants, corners were getting burned all the time, and Daniels was just kind of missing guys, and seemed like there was some confusion. So no, I don't think the Commanders played that well at all. I just think the Giants are one of the worst teams in the league, and I would even be okay with Jameis playing. I just don't want to see
I forgot
fucking. I
Jameis was
just
on.
this guy is such a loser. Like he was great, and that he hasn't been good since like
Yeah.
2020. So yeah, let's talk about a few of the late window games before our next
Yes,
segment. Packers Lions. You watched that one pretty closely. What do
I
you
did
think?
watch that one pretty closely. I would happily take it. I think it's exactly what I said, and what a lot like I'm not going to take credit for it. I wasn't the only one being like the Lions aren't going to be as good. Again, it's week one. I don't want to overreact. We can overreact in the next segment, but their offense was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
They like
No.
Jahmyr Gibbs. Like I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's really really good. I think he's one of the best running backs in the game. Like his ability to catch the ball and run the ball at like a high level. 9 carries for 19 yards, 10 catches for 31 yards, 19 touches for a total of 50 yards. Oh, 10
Yeah, I
minutes, by the
mean,
way.
okay. Yeah, I mean, he just had nowhere to run. The offensive line was pretty bad. I don't know, like you take this brilliant offensive coordinator out and you put in some old guy, some old head who's been in the league for
40
decades. Like
years, I think they said.
he's not gonna he's not gonna know what he's doing. Like,
You're not, if you're putting him in, you're not trying. Like, you're not
no.
trying to replace, you're just trying to like recreate it with someone who's not going to be able to do it.
And I don't know, man. Campbell might not just be more than like a guy jacked up on caffeine or something. Like he's I don't know. But the Packers looked great.
Yeah.
They didn't, knock my socks off or anything, but
Mm-mm.
they controlled the game and they did everything they needed to do to win. So no criticism there. Um,
It was tough
we got
seeing Micah Parsons. Happy
yeah,
for him though.
I would imagine. We had a very low scoring affair in Houston. The Rams won
Mm.
14-9. I
I
I
hated that game.
I hate to be so negative, but just like the Texans offense, terrible, just awful. Their defense was great, but their offense
Those
awful.
missing receivers that the Texans have are just so sad because I don't think Stroud is this bad, but we're
Yeah,
over a year. Like he was great rookie year, sophomore slump is fine, but now that we're into third year, even though this is again game one, like this is now more time that he's been average than he's been really good,
yeah,
or even below average in some games. So it's like, at what point can you stop blaming the receivers and start looking at him?
yeah,
Rams did not make me feel good about them either. Like neither of these teams,
yeah.
like this felt like a very prototypical week one. These teams will be fine in the long run, but they definitely didn't like help my confidence if I were to choose one of those teams to make the playoffs,
You're never gonna feel great of either team in a 14-9 game.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, let's move on to the next segment. I don't really care about these games. Niners, Seahawks. Just boring.
Do
Oh,
we want
these
to
games
talk
are really
Cowboys Eagles at all? Not really.
nah. That was too long
Okay.
ago at this point. Same
Yeah,
with the
no.
Chargers, Chiefs. Let's just start the overreactions before we switch
Okay.
because I have a good amount of them. So I have these in order, to from like totally reasonable things to just like I don't know, kind of more like weird fringe dumb things. Um,
I
so
do not
yeah,
know these overreactions, by the way.
yeah, Spencer's going in
Yeah, this is
blind.
the first one.
So first one, pretty simple. AFC rivalry has changed. The Bills Chiefs rivalry is not
Hmm.
the top seat, but now it's the Bills and the Ravens. Do you agree?
I do. I think I know that the Chiefs made the Super Bowl last year and beat the Bills last year and have beaten them 4 of the last 5 years, but I think it's been Bills Ravens for a while. I think the Chiefs are just the Chiefs and like they're always going to make the championship game and it is what it is. But I think it's Bills Ravens of like who's going to win that game to face the Chiefs, you know?
Yeah.
So I absolutely agree.
I think it is this, I think this is the case, but the Chiefs have to be knocked off before we can say
Yeah.
this. Otherwise, they're
But I
in the
do also
AFC.
think Bills Ravens is like the premier rivalry in football right now.
Yeah.
I
And
think
like
after
that's
that
like the
game, you could
game
make, yeah.
is the game anyone would want to see the most.
Mm,
Um, Number two, Aaron Rodgers is back.
no. I could see him being like just like a pocket passer that he can't like. I could see him. He's gonna have these games. He's gonna make ridiculous throws. I think the Jets are figuring out their identity. Um, I just don't trust that game. You mentioned it when we went over it. We're gonna look back at Week 10, being like, he threw for how many yards?
Yeah.
How many touchdowns? Like the Steelers couldn't run the ball. Like a team against a better team, or even like any team that's just a tiny bit better at stopping, having a good secondary, he's not doing anything because you're going to be able to sell out for that and stop the run.
Yeah.
Um, I think it would be really, I would think it would be an awesome storyline if he was like fully back though.
It would be. I mean, there were times throughout the game where he would make these throws, and I was just thinking like, oh yeah, this is not just some dude. This is Aaron Rodgers. Like this is
Yeah,
one of the five best quarterbacks to play in our lifetimes.
yeah.
But
He's
I don't
also
know.
40 though
There's
and
gonna be
can't
some
move.
bullshit. Yeah, he's gonna face a better pass rush, and I don't know. Some shit's gonna go down with Tomlin, and maybe him and Tomlin will start beefing. I don't think he has this way to get Tomlin fired this time. He's probably just gonna,
Mm-mm.
have to go back to his ayahuasca ranch and inject some freaking supplements up his ass or
He he,
something.
he I do believe he can be better. I mean, better than not playing off of or not being able to move off of a torn Achilles is not like a hard task, but I think he can be better than he has in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got Metcalf to throw to. Calvin Austin, I mean, offensive line is seemingly all right. So yeah, it's possible.
It feels like
Next
a
one.
9-8 team.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Steelers could go 9-8.
Yeah.
Number three, worst team in the league, New York Giants.
The Dolphins were really bad.
Yeah,
Um,
we going
but
Dolphins
the
worst team in
Dolphins
the
have
league
more
though.
players that like I could believe in. But I also think that the Giants feel like that team that aren't good, but are gonna have like really fun young guys. Malik Neighbors is so fun. I think Jackson Dart. I don't know how he's gonna like actually play in an NFL game. Um, you like trust me, there's nothing more that I would want to do than call the Giants the worst team in the league. But I'm also trying to not be biased, and I think the Dolphins were just that bad.
What about
Because
the
I also
Saints?
didn't think the Colts were going to be good, and I thought the Commanders were going to be pretty decent. So I can see the Commanders just like getting better, and the Giants just having Russell Wilson, and they changed their quarterback. Maybe they're not the worst team in the league, but they're one of the worst.
Oh, thanks. That's
But
what it is.
yeah, yeah. But I also think the Dolphins could lose the two or three people that they still have,
Yeah, like
and
Tyreek for sure could go.
maybe that should be the overreaction instead of the Giants is the Dolphins the worst team? Is maybe my thought. I don't know.
That's a better overreaction, perhaps. Next one, team we didn't talk about, Jacksonville Jaguars, 1-0. Congrats to them. Good job by them.
Mhm.
Did the Jacksonville Jaguars give up multiple picks, including next year's first round pick, for a guy who may well be no more than the third best receiver in the draft and nothing more than that?
Yes,
I think so too. I
yes.
agree. I
Nothing more to do to say. I know Bill Simmons talked about this, and I was thinking about it too because he played 6 snaps on defense. If you're gonna do it, there's no better game to do it than against the Panthers.
Yeah, I know.
Like if you don't trust them to do this against Bryce Young and Adam Thielen, right? Or no, he's on the Vikings now. I don't even know who the
But
fuck the Panthers receivers are. They had the McMillan.
Ted McMillan.
Like, if you don't trust them to do it, when are you ever gonna trust them to do it? Like, is this like the most
I don't
costly
know.
publicity stunt possible?
It kind of seems like it. Like if they don't do it, if they don't have this guy be their best offensive and best defensive player, but they just commit to a side, can you imagine taking a receiver or a cornerback at the number two spot in the draft? And like, if we're talking
And
about
him not even
receivers,
being good at
I
receiver
mean,
or didn't
even
even
if
look
he's
that good.
good, I would bet on Egbuka and Ted McMillan over him to
Mm.
be better. So
Egbuka looks incredible.
yeah, I'm excited about him. I mean,
We have a
the,
minute left.
the last thing you needed to give Baker was another good wide receiver,
Yeah.
but it's awesome. Yeah, so if Hunter can't play both sides of the ball, then this whole thing feels kind of pointless.
Yeah.
And I would even be annoyed if they had taken him number two if they had the pick, but they traded up for it. So yeah.
Ridiculous.
All right, let's close
Um,
this one out and I'll
how many more do you have?
like five.
Okay, we'll finish that on the next one. We're gonna take a quick break.
Yep. Stop the recording.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next potential week one, the Falcons have a higher long-term ceiling with Michael Penix Jr. than the Broncos do with Bo Nix.
I disagree because I like what the Broncos have going defensively. Um, I can see if you're talking like offensive weapons and like, defenses can get better. I like what Bo Nix is doing um in Denver, despite what his game that he had again is week one. He might go through a little sophomore slump, but there is a reason that many analysts, including like ourselves, had the Broncos either winning the division or like going well over
Thanks.
on their win total.
Thanks for calling us analysts.
Of course, I as soon as I started saying it, I was like, oh damn. Um, I like what Penix can do. He's a gunslinger, and with the team that they have and the weapons that they have, a gunslinger is kind of perfect. They just need someone to throw the ball besides like Kirk Cousins, who's going to try and throw it 4 or 5 yards every time.
Yeah,
Penix is trying to go for the Hail Mary, which I think is a fun way to play, but successful long term. We'll see. Injuries too. Um,
that's important.
um, but Bo Nix isn't gonna wow you. Penix has the ability to do so. But I think long term, if injuries aren't turned off, then I would go with Bo Nix.
Yeah, I think I think you're probably right. I did really like that Penix game yesterday, and
Hmm.
I mean, I think like he can really create an exciting offense, especially with the guys he has, like Bijan, obviously, and Drake London is awesome. But just Bo Nix, I think he'll be okay. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
too worried. I think the Titans actually might have like a decent defense. And again, it's week one. Like, let's not freak out. But he's just like, he was really bad yesterday.
yeah,
And I don't know. This Broncos hype, which I was totally a part of, is a little stinky. And I'm just wondering, this guy might be a bit of a cocky bastard. He may have you know, counted his wins before he actually got them. And I think he could have even benefited from losing this game as like a wake-up call. But I just felt like the way he played yesterday, he felt unprepared. He felt like he wasn't really ready for the moment. And he was kind of seems to be riding this high of a surprisingly successful rookie year. And I
hmm,
think he needs to be humbled a little bit. So maybe Sean Payton will take him out back and give him
yeah.
some spankings because that's probably what Sean Payton does. But
And I talked about their defense. Their defense is going to be the best in the NFL. It was last year. It's probably going to be the
mhm.
best this year.
Yep.
They're going to win those 20 to 12 games. Like, what did Bo Nix have? How many? He had like three or three turnovers, right? Or
I think 2 picks and a fumble.
something like that. Like obviously he's not going to do that against a better team than the Titans, or he can't be doing that. If he just doesn't turn the ball over, which is I know great analyst Spencer analysis, like don't turn the ball over, thanks.
Yeah.
Like if he just doesn't do that and is what he was last year, I think they're going to be really good. But long term, again, we'll see how Penix goes. We've only seen a couple of games from him.
Yeah. Next one. The Browns have a top half defense in the league and are perfectly viable with Joe Flacco as their quarterback.
I don't know about viable. I think not the worst team in the league. Possibly. Like their defense was a little surprising today. I guess a different overreaction was are the Bengals is the Bengals offense that bad? But they're not. We know that.
Yeah.
But
I
how
mean,
much of that game was the Browns defense, in your opinion? Because again, I didn't really
I
watch
mean,
too
I,
much of
I
that.
barely
I
watched
was
the game either. It was so
I was
fucking
I was
bad.
I was I was scoreboard watching, being like, okay, when are the Bengals going to break out? And then they didn't, and it just
I
kept
mean,
getting worse and worse.
I mean, they sacked Burrow a bunch of times. Miles
Yeah.
Garrett got to him. I think Miles Garrett had 3 sacks in the game. Let me check. But he was just a beast as always.
Hmm.
And he had 2 sacks. Okay.
So
Um,
good.
yeah, so good. And also there's no quarterback he's sacked more than Joe Burrow apparently. So that's just like maybe his thing. But the Browns defense is pretty all right. I don't think there were really doubts about that. But I mean, it is kind of crazy that Joe Flacco is still starting in the NFL. I could never have imagined that. Yeah, I think, how old is he? He's
He's 40.
40. He's 40.
He was
Okay.
born in 1985,
85. Yeah.
January 6th, 1985. Actually, I looked it up
No,
earlier.
January 16th. You're wrong.
Oh, damn! I thought I said six. Okay, we'll
Yeah.
we'll cut that.
But yeah, I mean, 2008 draft, that's wild. I don't know. I think if they want to win, he's probably their best option. But I hope that we get to see Shador at some point,
Yeah,
just
he's
for
the
the hell of
emergency
it.
QB though. Like he's not even on the depth chart. You're allowed to have a third QB that's not part of your 53-man roster.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah.
great look.
No, no, it's not. But we don't, you know what?
Okay.
Why are we wasting time talking about
Yeah, let's
Shador?
keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay. The Sam Darnold contract is no better than the Kirk Cousins contract.
Man, he was so bad today.
Dude, like, are we just acting like Sam Darnold wasn't crap for his first like 6 seasons in the NFL?
But he's only like 28 or 29.
Yeah,
Like,
but like he was like an
yeah,
irrelevant
150
backup.
yards. Like in the 49ers lost everyone on defense. A wrong offensive, like bad offensive game plan for him. Like maybe they just were like, all right, this is not going to work for Sam Darnold. Let's see something else. New team, little rusty. I get we're doing overreactions, and I could see it being really bad. But do you know the Kirk Cousins contract is 160 million for 4 years? What is this?
Right.
Three for like
90,
100 or 90 or
100, yeah,
something?
100, yeah.
So I
Yeah,
guess
okay.
average value is not terribly off, but 7 million is not nothing in a salary cap league.
No, and Kirk
And
Cousins also doesn't play.
and Kirk Cousins doesn't play. If Sam Darnold plays out this contract and it's just average, that's
Yeah,
kind of what you have to pay for a quarterback these days. If the highest rated quarterbacks are getting paid 60 million, the average quarterback should get paid 30 million. I know that's not
yeah.
exactly how it works, but
I I think tonight's game with Minnesota and Chicago should be interesting because if McCarthy looks really good, I'm gonna think, oh, they
yeah,
just plugged
yeah.
Sam Darnold into a brilliant system. I
And
think,
the fact that they were willing to let him go and not just pay him like maybe give him like a 2 year like 70 million up the AAV, and like
yeah,
have McCarthy as a backup. But they were like, nah, you're good. We're gonna let
I
our
just
rookie quarterback coming off of a season-ending injury.
I just worry that they plugged like a classically trained pocket passing system QB into a very poor offensive system in
Yeah.
Seattle because their offensive line sucks and like besides
I don't think
Jack
Seattle's a good
Jackson Smith
team.
Jigba, they don't really seem to have like Cooper Cup. was invisible. Um, so yeah,
If Sean
I'm not
McVay is
feeling
letting you go,
yeah, I'm not
then you're
feeling good
cooked.
about Darnold.
No.
I'm not. I think maybe it is an overreaction to compare it to perhaps one of the worst contracts at the moment. But yeah, I don't think it's good. I got two more. This
I'm
one's just
excited.
true.
I'm excited.
This one's just true. It's not an overreaction, it's just a fact. Mike McDaniel is no more than a weirdo and a hustler who somehow scammed his way into a head coaching position.
He was good for like what, 3 weeks at the beginning of his
Dude,
Dolphins tenure?
under 2 years ago, they beat the Broncos 70-20, you know? And now he's just like, what did
Yeah.
you hear that on Bill Simmons? He said like guys were like just one day closer to death.
Yeah, yeah, I
After like
like
a
that.
bad
I like that.
preseason loss or something. He's just a
You know,
freaking weirdo.
what I hate most about him being just an awful coach and turning out to be an awful coach is because I want these young guys, like these young, like nerds, basically, like Kevin O'Connell, Sean
Hmm.
McVay, um, like even Ben John. I want these young nerds to be the coaches of like teams
Me
because I
too.
think
Me too.
those are better games. Like their
Yeah.
offense is so much more dynamic. Like usually they're offensive masterminds, so like I don't really talk about the defense that much, but like the way that the Lions played last year, the way that the Rams play, like the way that even the Vikings played with as Kevin O'Connell with the head coach, it is just so much more fun than watching like a 70-year-old head coach try and run like just regular plays. I don't know that much. I don't know too
Totally.
much of the tactical analysis for it, but like it just sucks that he's so bad because this is how it ruins other teams
I
from hiring people like that.
I just don't understand what happened. He just like 2 years ago, it was like Mike McDaniel has reinvented football. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle like do motion and run fast. And now it's just like they can't do anything on offense. Tyreek Hill's just like having an aneurysm on the sideline, and Tua is not even starting caliber. So,
I
and
can I
meanwhile,
can
he's
I,
wearing
yeah,
$3,000 Louis Vuitton sneakers as he coaches his team to
terrible.
a 33-8 loss.
I don't know what podcast I heard this or where it's from, so I could be just like making it up, but I know I heard it. When Tyreek Hill had like nearly 2,000 receiving yards like 2 years ago, um, if you extrapolated just his first half of each game, like to the whole game and throughout the whole season,
Mhm.
he would have had like 3,500 yards. It's because they were cooking teams so badly that they just started running the ball and he
Right,
wasn't getting as many targets. But
right.
if he just got the same amount of targets and like each half was the same, you just double the first half of each game, he would have like 3,500 receiving yards. Like that's how good of
Mm.
an offensive scheme and head coach he was. And just he's not. There's no other way to
Now
say
he's
it.
nowhere to be found. All right, my last one is a bit of a doozy. It's not my idea. It actually comes from the one and only Larry David, and I just want to bring it up after week one. The NFL should consider eliminating not just extra points, but field goals too. And I'll tell you why. You have this
Okay.
beautiful game with these masterminds behind a Surface Pro, and you have these big guys and they're slamming each other, and guys are flying down the field, and it's just like it's like an athletic orgasm. And then you get to the end of the game and you send out a guy who got cut from his high school soccer team to determine the fate of the entire 59 minutes and 55 seconds beforehand.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like this sport is so weird.
Do you want to
And
know my take on it? Or
go
sorry,
for
continue,
it.
finish.
No, 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 go ahead.
My take is they can't do that because then the scoring is just soccer. Because then the games are going to end like 4-3. Because if you take away extra points and you take away field goals, like the fact that touchdowns are 6 points
Right,
and that is arbitrary. If you take away field goals and extra points
right.
and just did touchdowns, the games would end like 2-1 when they were or like I don't know, 3-2, and it'd be like
Yeah.
21-14. You'd be like, oh, that wasn't a bad game. But then it's just soccer. I
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, and
No.
I do like the idea. And I've always been like, how math is now a huge part of the game. And like you were asking me earlier if I would go for it on the 4th and 2. As like a kid, like watching games, I was always like, why don't you just go for it on every fourth down? Like within reason, if your goal is to get 10 yards and you have 4 downs to do it, it's 2.5 yards to play, you know?
Yeah.
And if you're averaging 3.5 yards a play, like you're just getting 4 down. I know that's not how like actual math works, and it's different. But if you plan ahead and tell yourself, okay, I have 4 downs to get the 10 yards instead of 3 downs, I think your strategy towards an offense changes drastically, and you could change everything.
Well, on that note, we're being joined
Wow, look at the
by
timing.
our new addition to the podcast. If we're gonna see his face, we'll find out. But we got Matt, and I think we're gonna transition away from this bullshit discussion about NFL kicking, and we're gonna get into the more gossipy topics of the week. Matt, you're sitting outside. It's a nice day. I assume you're in Morristown. How's it going?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you guys?
Pretty good. I don't know what happened to Spencer. But yeah,
Yeah,
we're just
Spencer here.
he's here.
Yeah, sorry, I had to blow my nose and didn't feel like doing that on
Oh,
camera.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
okay.
Oh wait, here we go. Sorry, I was like on just speaker view instead of gallery view or whatever. Yeah,
Welcome.
it's good, guys. I can't really hear you too well. I don't know if that's me or if that's Toby's
We
issue. I
can
don't know.
we can hear each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Do you have your AirPods?
yeah.
You want to put your
So
AirPods in?
let me see. Hold up.
Yeah.
We just have a doofus who doesn't know how to use Zoom.
Let me see this.
Oh, wait, Toby, I have like 3 picks for next week.
Okay, quickly, and then we
Quickly.
got to get
Okay.
into our gossip.
Yeah. Um, because I thought some of the lines were very interesting. Um, Packers -3.5. I
I
didn't
like
even
that
write down
line.
who they were playing, but they looked
Commanders,
really good.
Commanders,
Um, Patriots +1.5 against
Dolphins.
the Dolphins. Very interesting. That feels like a Vegas line if I've ever seen one.
hmm
And Broncos -2.5. I'm still
Against
in on the
who?
Broncos.
Who are they playing?
Uh, um, Shit, I just had it. I just closed it. Sorry. Can you look it up?
Yeah, dude, this is just a disaster. Um, they're playing the Colts.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
okay. Let's keep going.
Transitioning. So we're going to talk about the Kawhi Leonard scandal. It's been a slow basketball summer, but we finally have some, maybe one of the biggest scandals potentially in quite a long time. So just to fill everyone in, fill Matt in because Matt says he doesn't know shit about it. Basically, that Kawhi Leonard was being paid for a no-show job with some total bullshit like startup called Aspiration Inc. And Aspiration Inc. is a carbon offsetter. So you can pay Aspiration Inc. to like buy you carbon credits to offset like your, whatever you do. So like if you fly on a private jet, you say, "Hey, Aspiration Inc., like offset my carbon footprint," and then they like plant trees but like they like somehow net a profit by planting trees. So they're just like a whole sketchy enterprise in general. And basically, they had Kawhi signed to a $28 million contract for which he had to do no work. It was a no-show job. It said everything in the contract said like Kawhi doesn't have to do anything except the only thing he had to do was stay on the Clippers. And um, who was the biggest investor in Aspiration Inc.? Clippers owner Steve Ballmer, who invested $50 million into the company. And also, Aspiration was the main sponsor of the Intuit Dome, which is the Clippers' new stadium. So, yeah, there's just stink all over this.
Mhm.
It was thanks to some remarkable journalism by Pablo Torre.
It's true. It was truly incredible that
Yeah,
podcast.
there's
Like
just just
I
great.
didn't know where it was going. You did an incredible job explaining it. That is exactly what happened. But the way it started, I was like, where is this going? Because he was like two Harvard students
Yeah.
were like talking about that. I was like, where is he going with this? And it was amazing what he was able to do and find out. Yeah, like the clause in the contract that you're talking about, it said the only reason it could be terminated, it couldn't be terminated for anything except
Yeah.
if he left the Clippers.
So, so, we can talk about whatever, Ballmer, money, whatever. But Matt, this is what I want to hear from you because this is what has not been talked about enough. Does this change your view on Kawhi as a player, as a person? Do you think he's guilty? Like, what's the Kawhi legacy
I
now?
yeah, I just feel like it's weird because I feel like it's always been like he's this guy that's kind of just like I don't know, like doesn't really have a big personality. You know what I mean? Almost has a lack of personality, you could say. Like I feel like or he used to like drive like an old ass fucking car, to the
Yeah.
games and shit, like a busted up like Subaru or some shit. So it's like to me, it just feels a little bit like just like not how we've come to think of Kawhi. Like there's a lot of stars who you would think would do something like this, and he feels like the guy that would just be content, like you know, maybe making what he's making. I guess I don't know. It feels like he
Yeah.
wouldn't be someone to jump through hoops and risk getting like in trouble. I don't know, but I guess
I
not.
know. He's just a guy who wants to have Apple time, you know? Do you guys know about Apple time?
No, I don't know about Apple time.
Well, I think this might be a fake story, but it's like very big on the internet. Looking at it right now. And,
I think I've heard of this.
they went out for team dinner, and instead of ordering food, Kawhi just pulls out a bag of 12 apples. And Popovich said, like, what are you doing? And Kawhi said, apple time, and then ate all the 12 apples with a fork and a knife.
Dude, okay, but hold on. How does this change Paul George's legacy? Because he was
Dude,
like, how does that affect him leaving the Clippers? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's something there. I don't know.
yeah, did Paul George want some carbon offset money too? And that's why he walked?
hmm
What
Or was
about
he like, I'm
Harden?
not taking that shit?
Oh, you think that Paul George is like a stand-up guy?
Yeah, because here's what I'm thinking. Like, here's I think what could easily happen from this is that all of the teams that have some of these guys taking sort of like pay cuts, like the Knicks with Brunson, or just like making a kind of a normal amount of money, are going to get busted for shit like this. And then the teams that everyone thinks are overpaying their guys are actually the only teams that are like just straight up paying them legally. So then you're going to have these teams like the Sixers who are just going to go on a tear next year because half of the Knicks are going to be suspended. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's a good take. That's a good
Yeah.
take. Because so remember how like what was it 2 years ago when Harden wanted out of Philly and he said
Mhm.
Daryl Moore was a liar and he was
Yeah.
just like inexplicably he was like you have to trade me to the Clippers.
Yeah. Because
Do you
probably,
think Harden
probably,
knew?
yeah, because probably Daryl Morey is like very probably ethical as a Sixers GM. He probably said,
Ethical
Harden,
billionaire.
we're not doing some illegal stuff for you. And Harden said, okay, well, I kind of thought we were doing something illegal. Send me to the Clippers. They love doing illegal things. And
Right.
that's why so many people from the Sixers actually left and have like signed free agency to the Clippers over the past few years.
Like Nicholas Batum.
Like Nicholas Batum, like PJ Tucker, I think went like back there. Like I think we got him and then he went back. Like there's a lot of these guys that I think are not getting what they want because the Sixers are a very ethical organization, I think, and
Oh,
that's
so
the issue.
okay. So do you think the Knicks are one of these teams too?
Oh, I mean, without a doubt, yeah, without a
So
doubt.
so how does this affect Gershon Yabusele's legacy for leaving
Um,
the league's most ethical team and going to one of the bastards?
yeah, I mean, it's a real shame, honestly. Like, I just give him some respect because he's not American. You know what I mean? So he probably
Yeah.
doesn't know how to handle a check like that. Because,
Yeah,
like,
and he probably couldn't like read the contract.
yeah, I mean, who knows what his English is looking like? I mean, and like just
Yeah.
if you have that money in France, I mean, you go back there, it's like it's insane. I mean, France is basically a third world country at this point, so it's honestly
Yeah, they just have like croissants and like shit, I don't know.
shit. They have Chris Thompson shit. Is what they have.
Yeah, I know. They're probably just protesting something.
Probably protest. Yeah, they're probably. I don't know what they do nowadays.
All right, so then on that note, I just want to go to the other Los Angeles game because
Can I say one thing?
yeah, please, please.
Um, I just want to understand the fallout of it. I just want like you guys to understand what the fallout might be. When I forget which team it was. I think it was the Timberwolves. They were accused and like found guilty of tampering and stuff. Like the Knicks, they tampered with Jalen Brunson. They lost a second round pick or a first round pick or something. The last time someone got caught like basically embezzling money almost or under the money, they lost five first round picks.
Whoa.
The Clippers don't have a first round pick until 2030.
Dude, maybe do you think they'll have to like kill Bradley Beal or something? Like as a
Yeah, I,
sacrifice?
I think yeah, I think Bradley Beal's dead after this.
Oh, that's probably why they signed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. Did you guys hear about this though? People are saying on the internet, and this is some internet shit, but I believe it, is that what if like the SGA Paul George trade because of this tampering gets vetoed by the league? Like
And they
the
had to send him back to the.
SGA goes back to the Clippers. Yeah.
That would be a big
How
punishment.
deep does this run?
How deep does it run?
So,
Um,
I mean, I
yeah.
think we can't like not talk about the Lakers though, because like they're just always involved. So
There's always involved. Yeah.
the LeBron summer was weird. LeBron kind of wanted something, like he was kind of being like a little bit pissy with the Lakers. Like, is LeBron like just trying to win a championship, or do we think that like I don't know, he's like can be a little sketchy sometimes. Did he want like his own aspiration Inc?
Oh,
I think it's
I
possible.
I just feel like and look, I mean, people are stupid, right? But I just feel like LeBron has to be smart enough to know, like, dude, like the GOAT conversation, if you get caught doing some bullshit like like you're
Yeah,
fucked. Like it,
but
it's
Jordan,
it's
but Jordan gambled.
but Jordan Gamble, that wasn't in
Yeah.
the social media era. Like there wasn't as much. Like, do you know what I mean? I just feel like the press would not forget about this shit because now there's like Stephen A. Smith is gonna be yapping about this until he's dead. Do you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
cannot. I don't know. You can't like there'll be the counterpoint. Oh, but Michael Jordan gambled. But like if he was on some shit like this, I just feel like. But also, people are dumb. People are greedy. So who knows? But I don't
People
think
are
LeBron is
greedy.
that stupid.
Yeah, I think the fact that he opted in to his contract, to his $50 million contract, is very interesting. Because if like you were saying this was a kind of a shady offseason, I wonder if he was being like, all right, I'll take like a pay cut, but you have to still find a way to make sure that I get paid $50 million. Otherwise, I'm just gonna take it. Because why would I leave money on the table?
Yeah. Also, LeBron though, he's a billionaire. Like, how much of his money is actually his salary? Do you know what I'm
like
saying?
like none, like
Like
none.
that's
Yeah.
I gotta think if he wants to like get more money, there's a trillion like he can do Space Jam 3 or whatever. Like I don't know, he
Yeah,
can do
he
whatever. But
doesn't like need like 10 million more dollars. Like it doesn't matter.
yeah,
I
yeah. Like he could also funnel it through Bronny if he needs to. Like there can be a
Yeah,
Bronny
probably.
thing there.
You probably like exploit him as like
Yeah.
some servant or something.
Something
so
weird, yeah.
how do you guys feel about what Kawhi Leonard did? Do you think it's like an atrocity to the sport? Like,
Um,
I just want to gauge your feeling because when I first heard this, I was struggling to like come to a conclusion. On the one hand, they're cheating basically, but on the
Yeah.
other hand, like the owners are billionaires. If they're trying to pay the people that make them billions of dollars more money, like that's like part of me is like, oh yeah, make as much money as you can, players,
Well from
but
the
yeah.
maybe
ethics
not in this way.
from the ethics of the player, I think we can talk about that. But in terms of like, is this a good thing? Like, is this ethical? Like overall, like no. Like I think it is cheating. Like you said at first. Like you can go into like, okay, is it bad for Kawhi to say yes to that money? But like the fact that the owners are giving him that is definitely fucked up. It definitely fucks up the league.
Yeah.
I think it's fucked up to take that because it's like there's unless the like we don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes. Like if we come to find that every team is doing something kind of like this, I think I'll think better about Kawhi. I'll think better about the owners. But like unless that's the case, I feel like it is really fucked up on
But
Kawhi.
you've already declared Daryl Morey as like an ethical saint,
Well,
so
because I know Daryl Morey isn't doing it.
yeah, he wouldn't.
Yeah, he wouldn't do something that's stupid.
All right, so
Yeah.
we're going to talk about our second topic
Oh,
now.
okay. Which
And
is
I hyped this up at the beginning as a media topic vaguely because I didn't want to spoil, but we're talking
Mm.
about greed, talking about just stupidity. So we're going to talk now about Ryen Russillo,
oh my
who stabbed not just Bill Simmons, but millions of good Americans in the back when he took a bag from Dave Portnoy and went to Barstool Sports, leaving the ringer. And I mean, I'm pretty distraught. I'm upset, but I don't want to start off this topic. I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Well, maybe Toby, you can tell us a little bit about his crimes. I think you know most about his crimes, just to
So
start off.
we're gonna start off the Russello segment by exposing him.
Yeah, I think
Wait,
his
wait,
crimes.
wait. If we're, I don't want to go negative immediately. I want to start positive and then we can go negative.
Oh yeah, 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 sure.
Um, I want to thank
10 minutes,
Russillo
guys.
for for what he did as a ringer and friend and colleague of Bill Simmons. Got me into basketball even more than I already was. Like made me truly understand and love the game. Um, and I thought like just hearing him talk about sports was so much fun. But now I can't because he's doing it for the enemy. And now his sports takes don't count and don't matter.
Don't count.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't matter.
I mean, look, look. I wanted to give Ryen Russillo the benefit of the doubt. You know, friends with BS, just like, grinding on his Ringer podcast networks material. But who is Ryen Russillo? Ryen Russillo is a man who has shown carelessness and lack of responsibility. Ryen Russillo was arrested in 2017 after he was intoxicated, blackout drunk, broke into a residence that was not his, and got naked and passed out. Some poor innocent souls then came back to their place and found a drunk, naked Russillo in their home, called the police, and Russillo was arrested. And I don't want to say that one action defines a man's life, but this coupled with leaving Bill Simmons, leaving Jesus, and joining the kings of the douchebags at Barstool Sports, I don't know. It doesn't give me the best opinion on him.
Yeah, dude.
Matt, do you think there's a conspiracy angle with this?
Is there a conspiracy? I mean, there definitely is. Yeah.
Some algo
Like,
shit.
I mean, and I would say honestly, I feel like when you look at the moral characters of these two people, like Portnoy and Bill Simmons, the owners of these two brands that he has now worked for, Bill Simmons, wife, kids, upstanding guy by all accounts. Maybe has said some problematic things over the years. Like if you read some of his literature, perhaps there are some
Literature.
questionable comments. But
What was his name again?
Little
Bill Simmons,
Jabal.
um,
Oh, Jabbar. Little Jabbar.
but
Abdul Jabbar.
but
Jabbar Abdul Simmons. Yeah.
but we know that Dave Portnoy, he's a known misogynist, known racist. Probably he has, I
He
know,
has allegations.
allegations. He has sex tapes that have been leaked that I could probably find if I needed to
If
expose
we
him for
have
whatever
to.
reason. I think I could put
Mm.
some feelers in and do that. Um, and just questionable guy. Portnoy is not, the guy that is good, and I just feel like maybe Bill knows about this story, knows about this and that. Maybe Russillo has a case that will be released soon. Like he could have been at. I don't think he would be at a Diddy party because that's too much for him. But like maybe like a R. Kelly party, like a smaller kind of like person like
I
that.
mean,
And I just
Russillo's
you know I feel like Bill knows, and he wanted to get him away. So he said, "Go join the other racist guys, the other misogynist guys at
Russillo's
Barstool."
got his weird pad on the beach, you know. I don't know. It's just is like it seems like a trap of sorts.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Is there
I
anything
just
about the contract that you've seen, or is it like the
I don't
contract?
know.
No.
All I know is he got paid more.
Yeah.
But also just like, what does this say? That this guy, Ryen Russillo, was the type of person that Dave Portnoy looked at and was like, I'm gonna shell out a lot of money for that guy. You know, that suggests to me that Ryen Russillo is just a D-bag, and maybe he's a smart guy, but you know what? We're better than this. As Ringer
yeah.
Yeah.
listeners, as Bill Simmons listeners, we're better than Ryen Russillo.
But also, okay, I mean, there's two things we have to look at here, like less conspiracy. There's a chance Bill comes out and says something on the next podcast, like, "Hey, we're still left, but there's no bad blood, and he's still actually going to be a guest from time to time." So it's like there's always that chance.
Right.
There's also a chance that he just never addresses it because it's a tough subject, and that Russillo has something in his contract where he just can't do anything with the ringer anymore, which I think is probably like more likely than the first case.
Yeah.
But yeah, we still don't know much. But it's fun to speculate. It's fun to be conspiratorial, and it's fun to hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to like push all my chips in the anti-Russello camp because like if he comes back on, I'm gonna be excited, but I don't know. It's hard not to.
Yeah, it could always be a spy mission too.
Mm, that would be cool.
Yeah,
Like the Ringers like operating their own sim. And Russello's an actor.
yeah. He goes in and he gets like information. Like he finds out what the pizzas are going to be reviewed like on the formats. He leaks it.
He sends them to House. He's like, "Yo, House, like get there first."
Fuck! Like the ringer got all of our pizzas.
Cousin Sal's
Who
just like licking his fingers when Portnoy shows up.
We got all the pizza in this whole restaurant.
who do
Ordered
you
a
think
million slices.
who do you think is going to take over for Russillo on the
Oh,
Bill Simmons
Oh
pod?
boy. Oh
fuck.
boy, who knows?
Chuck.
Chuck Barkley?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Stephen A.
No.
Smith.
That's
Oh, it could just be more honestly Zach Lowe maybe.
Oh, yeah, I could go for some Zach Lowe.
Yeah.
Or maybe just like Doc.
No, I can't listen to Doc talk, or else I feel like our
Bill,
webcasts are gonna
I'm
collapse.
honored to be your new Sunday basketball guest. Dude, oh, speaking of, Bucks are definitely one of those unethical teams because how'd they get Miles Turner in the Dame
mm,
contract? They're probably like taking some Dame money, taking some
Hmm.
like Russian like hookers, like bank account.
yeah, there's
I don't
definitely
know.
yeah, there's probably hookers
I don't even know if
involved.
they're. I don't even think they're unethical. I think they're just stupid. I don't think they're smart enough to be unethical.
I don't know, man. Doc could do it.
Yeah, he's known unethical guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, anything else?
Any closing thoughts?
No,
Well, Matt, do you have any plugs? Do you want to plug the state senate of New Jersey?
nah, I don't want this issue with me. This is off the record.
hopefully Joey will be able to join us next week.
Dude, wait, what did he have to do?
He had to like drive Riley somewhere.
What?
Yeah.
Dude,
He had to no, he said he had to coach the soccer game
how did he
or
not know
something.
that? How did he know that already?
Because it's
He's
fucking it's so
He had to take a hit.
I don't know. He said, all right, I just got off the phone and Riley still hasn't answered. I'm not really prepped, so I don't know if I can. I don't know what
yeah.
that
I mean
means.
I prepped this morning while at work.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't.
he could have just yapped, but you know.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
prep, man.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we're gonna be
I'm
doing
so
some
happy
more.
football is back.
Yeah, but we're gonna be doing some more basketball material in the next few weeks, but we're not really there yet. The preseason train hasn't really started, so but when
Hmm.
that's the case, Matt's gonna be a more frequent guest.
For sure, for sure. Um, yeah, I'm excited. It should be a good season. Um, Should we bet on Wemby MVP? Is that a thing we should bet on?
I think that
I
should be its own pod, is
Yeah.
awards
Yeah,
pod.
yeah,
But keep that in your back pocket.
yeah.
Wemby's 15 to 1 right now, so
See,
could be
15 to
juicy.
1. I don't think the Spurs are going to be good enough for him to win MVP. So
yeah,
I think
that's
that
the
is a
issue.
narrative.
I was just looking at Wemby best plays of like last season, and I was like, holy shit, man, the Spurs suck. Like I wasn't tuning into every game, but I forgot like he's actually like so good. Like
I know.
I don't know,
He's
he's
just
so good.
awesome.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
about
and
to lose
we'll
it.
do an
I'm going to stop
episode for
recording.
the fantasy draft.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, should we do it at when's the fantasy
Like
draft gonna be?
like probably in like a month.
We got to find a new person.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, fuck yeah, we need a new person. I don't know who.
Just
Sebastian.
not just
No,
not
it can't
Caleb
be. It can't be. It
playing
can't just be like the closest person we're friends with. Like it's gonna like have to be
Murphy.
another Caleb. Like it can't be a Sebastian. It has to be like a
Yeah.
like